Hey there, and welcome to Maritza's Medizen. And this is actually where I prepare most of my medizen, which is in the kitchen, of course. And so I'm actually in the middle of preparing a tonic because just a few days ago I started to notice a little tickle in my throat and a little bit more sneezing. And so because this is cold and flu season, you want to make sure that you're being proactive about your health and that you're taking extra care of your immune system. So this is really a great tonic for anything that might be viral. And so usually if it's viral, your phlegm is looking more clear. You might be feeling more of the body aches, maybe you're sweating a little bit more profusely, unable to get comfortable. There's a lot of symptoms associated with it, but it's great for cold and it's also good for the flu. So I wanted to share it with you self-healers so that you could put this in your holistic toolbox anytime that you might be sick and you might need to use this, right? So the first thing that you need to do is get some garlic cloves. So garlic is like your natural antibiotic. It's very powerful and should not be underrated, right? So here I'm going to chop up some of the garlic. Okay. And so I actually have 2 cloves of garlic, and I'm chopping it up. And if you have a presser, that's even better because you get more of the allicin component. So that's the healing component within garlic, right? So it's 2 enzymes that combine in order to form allicin, and it's very powerful. And so the best way to prepare garlic is to press it. Of course, I'm waiting for mine to come in through Amazon. But here I'm just chopping up the garlic, and I'm going to let it sit a little while. So when it sits just a little while, whether that's 5 to 15 minutes, that's when the allicin becomes even more bioactive. Okay, so here, all chopped up, ready to go. Okay, I hope you're chopping your garlic too. And now I'm going to go ahead and take my apple cider vinegar. So I do recommend Bragg's. So Bragg is the best brand as far as apple cider vinegar goes. And it's really powerful stuff. So you want to make sure you shake it up first because all the good stuff gets caught in the bottom. And you want to do about 6 ounces of the apple cider vinegar. Okay, so I got 6 ounces here. I've got my 10 ounces of distilled water, and all I'm going to do is combine it. So there we go. All of this, I'm just going to give it a little shake, and I'm going to put it in the saucepan. Okay, so it's pretty easy here. We're just putting the mixture in the saucepan. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take raw honey. So you want to make sure that it is a raw honey that's not sugary and like it shouldn't be fluid, right? So this is more of a thick mixture, and this is the honey that you want to use, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get about 2 dollops of honey. Okay, just get my spoon here. All right, so 2 big dollops. It should come out to about 1/4 to 1/3 cup. So this is about 1/4 cup. You might even want to do a little bit more than that. So I'm gonna do about 2 large scoops. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to be effective, right? So we're doing 1 and 2. All right, so I just put those bad boys in. Okay. And so I'm going to wait for that to really mix in, right? So it should look more like a thick fluid. Right now the honey needs to disintegrate just a little bit more, so I'm going to let it do its thing. All right, garlic's looking beautiful. Okay, and I know that some of these remedies can get a little pricey, right? So I'm going to give you like different options so you can really play with what you have and work within your budget, right? So there's always a solution. I truly believe that. And if you can't afford some of the these tinctures here, what you can do is you can just add in more garlic, right? So when in doubt, just add in more garlic. Instead of doing the 2 cloves like I'm doing, you can go ahead and do 4 cloves. So that's totally fine too. Just make sure you're not going out on a date afterwards or something. So today I'm just doing 2. I still have a lot of people to talk to. And I'm also relying on these tinctures that are really heavy duty. And they really work so well synergistically. So speaking of the tinctures here, let me show you what I got. I got reishi, love reishi, powerful mushroom. I've got cayenne, a little spice, always nice. I've got astragalus, and I've got echinacea, golden seal. So this is going to whip your immune system back into gear. So this is really what's going to like drive that engine back up. So that's a great way for me to explain it. Astragalus is actually the herb of this season. And so I know everybody wants to do elderberry, and I'm seeing elderberry everywhere. And that was actually the herb of last season. So that was highly effective last season. This season, we're finding a little bit of a shift here, and astragalus is the one. So sometimes herbs fluctuate, right? So what works in one period of time doesn't work in another. And that's just how it goes, right? So we have to roll with nature and see what's really working. And so astragalus is the herb of this season. It's great for your immune system, but it's also so good for the nervous system. So it's going to bring you back down, okay? So we have these 4 beautiful tinctures, and garlic has been sitting for a little while, so that's good. I'm going to check up on this mixture. Alright, so it's mixing very nicely. And it doesn't take that long, you guys. I know you can't see me in the camera. I'm putting in some work. Okay, then here I am. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in the tinctures. So you actually want to use up 1 ounce of each. Okay, so you want to do 1 ounce of the astragalus, of the echinacea, of the reishi mushroom, and you want to do ½ an ounce of the cayenne. So I would tread lightly, okay? And some of you that have experimented with cayenne know what I'm talking about. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this together in my measuring cup. We don't need to measure. We know it's just an ounce going in, but it's always nice, right? So we're putting in an entire ounce of the astragalus. And I'm still feeling it a little bit behind my throat right now, so bear with me there. I know that this is going to be perfect at this moment. So I just put in the reishi. I can't wait. All right, now I'm putting in the golden seal, which is the same thing as echinacea, okay? Might be different pronunciations for that, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dump that all in. Beautiful. So we got about 3 ounces there. Now the cayenne, we want to try a little bit lightly. Okay. So I'm doing about ½ an ounce, and I'm just guesstimating. That's totally cool. Okay. And here's the mixture. I'm just going to dump it in. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and add in the garlic. Okay, so I'm adding in the garlic, turning off the heat. So I actually put in some of the garlic in the mixture, some of it in here. And like I said, if it's pressed, it comes out a little bit smoother. But we always have to work with what we have, right? So this is about becoming more resourceful and using what we have, right? So Don't feel like you have to get fancy here. Okay, and I just want to mention, if you want to strain out some of the garlic, you can do that, right? I use this. So you could strain out some of the garlic if you need to, but I would leave a little bit in. So remember, garlic is really what has a lot of those healing properties. So follow your intuition there. Okay. So I'm going to strain it out just a little bit. Okay. Perfect. Alright, so this is nice and hot. As you can see, everything's mixed in. And now I'm just going to go ahead and pour this on top. Alright, and there we go. Whew, that is strong. You just smell it. So keep in mind, you might need a chaser for this, okay? So you can maybe use like a high quality apple juice with less sugar, right, preferably. You also want to make sure that your diet, that you're taking care of that. So no gluten, no dairy, super clean. If you could add in more of those healing whole foods, that's going to serve your temple a lot more. You could boost your system with vitamin C. You can also take probiotic, right? So you want to tackle this from many different angles while eliminating foods that create inflammation. So we don't want to create any competition in the body, right? So when we eliminate the inflammatory foods, we're able to experience more of the healing, right? So make sure that your diet is super clean at the moment. I highly recommend doing miso soups because it's very alkalizing. You could do bone broth. You can also do like a really good Thai soup with shiitake. So there's a lot of great options as far as soups go. And so the biggest thing is to make sure that you're using whole food quality organic ingredients so you can get most out of your healing experience. So I hope you guys love the tonic. And this is a lot. Don't feel like you have to drink it all at once. You want to basically do it in shots. Okay, so you're just taking a shot, just take a shot glass, and then pour some of this in, throw it back. If you're starting to feel it and you're at the first signs of the illness, then you might want to do it about 6 times a day, right? So really do as much as you can to knock out that virus. So it also stores well in the fridge. So after you take your shot, pour this in a nice mason jar, cap it up, and store it. It's good for 4 days, okay? So you have about 4 days. I'm sure that it'll all be done by then, probably sooner, especially if you're really serious about knocking out this virus that has just been terrible. I really feel for you guys. I know that I'm in the middle of kicking its butt, so I know it's totally possible with this tonic, as well as taking care of my gut and making sure that I'm not putting anything that's going to create that competition that we talked about, right? So thanks for tuning in, you guys, and I will probably be doing more of these videos in the future. Feel free to comment, let me know if you have any questions, and I do still recommend that you talk to a functional medicine practitioner, a naturopathic doctor, if you need to. Sometimes we have certain cases that might need a stronger formula, so I'm always really weary about what I recommend. So if you do have a chronic viral infection going on, then you want to talk to a professional at that point. And so I'm just throwing out that disclaimer out there. And yeah, that being said, enjoy your healing tonic, and please let me know what you think. Thank you.